Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be based around March and reflecting that everybody's ready for spring. We want lighter coverage, we want a more dewy look, and I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Muse palette as like the main feature today. I'm going to use all 4 shades and see how you can make up a very glamorous but edgy and all-round look with it. So I've already done my skin, and for that I'm currently using the Decleor range, which is Hydroflora, so I use like an oil and moisturiser, eye cream, cleanser, all that kind of stuff. And it's really nice and light, and my skin's really moisturised at the minute. So for my base today I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Estee Edit collection. So I'm going to use the Illuminator as like my primer base, and then I'm going to use their like skin balm as the foundation, but it's not really foundation, it's just called the Skin Glowing Balm, so I'm guessing it's like quite a thick tinted moisturiser, but I think the combination of them is going to go really well and have more like a glowy look to it. So the Illuminator for my primer is in shade Morning Light, which is shade 2, and I'm not going to use a brush, I'm just going to use my fingers as if I was going to do a moisturiser. I just put a small amount on my fingers, and then I'm just going to put it all over my face to give like this glow. So as you can see, like, it looks really shiny, but when you have a base that is really illuminated, it comes through a lot better on a foundation or a tinted moisturiser, so sometimes more is better on these. And then with the Skin Glow Balm from the Estee Edit, I'm using shade 300, which is called Wheat, so it's like in a bottle like this, it's really nice. And I'm going to use my new Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood complexion brush, because you've got the thicker end like this, but it's because it's flat surface, it'll give you a really good buffing coverage. And then I'm going to use this with my concealer, so it's good because it's like a double duo brush. So I'm just going to go straight onto the brush with this one, and then I just go directly onto the skin, so just spread it out a little bit first. Now, because this brush is like got a lot smaller head than I'm used to, it will probably take a little bit longer to work it round on the skin, but you get a much more defined coverage, and you can really build it up as you go, like, so really focus on certain areas where you need a little bit more. Obviously I'm not going to have too much coverage because this skin balm doesn't really allow you to, which is the good thing about it, because I really want to have a nice light glowing look. So with this I just am really working into skin and just putting more on as I go, seeing where I need more. I don't usually use this complexion brush to do my foundation. I always use the Urban Decay, because for me it's the best foundation brush anyone has ever launched by far, and I've tried a lot of foundation brushes. Sorry, I had the light on before, but now it's like really nice because it looks like my skin here. I've not really covered it up too much, and it's really, really glowing, and it feels very like moisturised. I think this is really nice for like going back into spring, and you need to like let your skin breathe sometimes, like especially after winter. All you do is put so much foundation on because you can't deal with how pale you are. I mean, I do this. I'm the worst for this. So I'm going to attempt to do lighter coverage. So in terms of concealer, I'm still using the same one as in my last video, because I've still not found anything that is as good for my eyes, which are quite tired at the minute and isn't creasing. So I'm still on Bye Bye Under Eye by IT Cosmetics in light medium shade, which is perfect for now still because I'm not that tanned yet, but it probably will be too light after I get back from Barbados. What I'm going to do this time around is I'm not actually going to use a sponge. I'm going to use the other side of my Hollywood complexion brush and see if I can get the same coverage effect. So I just put some on my finger like this, and I sort of like start tapping it because it turns into a lot of product from what you first see, and then I just put like 2 swipes under my eyes. And if you do use your fingers, to be honest, you can work it out a lot more. To be honest, you don't even need to use a brush, which is pretty good because a lot of concealers are way better with sponges. My eyelids are quite dark at the moment, and I don't know why, but I seem to be using this as like my eye primer as well. They seem to all go together. So I tap a lot of that under my eyes, and then whatever's left I go around, because it's a lighter coverage foundation, I just go where I feel I need a little bit more. Just here where I've had a little bindi going on. So you can see now it's like sort of ready to work into my skin. So then I'm going to use the end of my Hollywood complexion brush and then just work in the product. I do think this brush is quite good though, considering, because especially like when you go on holiday, you only need to take one brush with you for your complexion, well, in terms of your foundation or tinted moisturiser and concealer, but also this brush, and this is why I originally bought this brush, is to use it for highlight and contour. So with the Charlotte Tilbury highlight and contour sticks, you can use this brush. So I particularly use it for my contouring, and I use the Charlotte Tilbury foundation flat brush as my highlighter brush, which I don't know if I've showed you guys yet, but I'll show you. It's a genius idea, and I don't know why they haven't thought of this. So that's my base. So you can see it's like really nice, dewy, not over the top. Looks very spring-like, very fresh-faced and very dewy. Before I go on to my bronzer, because I don't want my skin to go shiny where it looks almost oily, I'm going to just use a little bit of powder to sort of neutralise my chin and just down my T-zone. And for this, I use my Blemish Ready Bare Minerals foundation powder. This could be used as a full foundation, but if you just use the tiniest light dusting, it's a really good setting powder. So you can lightly dust it on just where you need to, but don't use very much of it because it is quite intense. And I use the shade Clear Silk. So this is what it's like. It's just got like a little pot there. So I usually go in with just like a very light fluffy brush to keep the coverage very light. So I would like touch on a tiny bit, and then I tap it off, and then I just sort of dust where I need to. Tiny bit under my eyes, and then just tiny bit on the forehead here, because this is where you can see where the product goes away most quickly. But you see I'm still keeping the shine here where I want it to be. So for bronzing today, I'm going to do more of a contour shade than it is a bronze shade, but I will probably go over with a more general bronzer just to finish it off. So I'm using the Zoeva Basic Moments palette. So it's like this, and what's really good is it's not actually that expensive. I got it off for Christmas, which is lovely, and it's got 3 shades in it. You've got a blusher, a highlighter, and like a contour shade, but it's also very good as like a general, like building some structure up here. So I'm going to go with quite a big brush rather than a contour brush. So I go in with the shade here and just quite a big chunky brush, not too much, just, and then I go along where I want to have some more definition. And then I'll just take it around the side of my face here to build a bit of more structure, and around this side here. And then I always go underneath my neckline so that it just gives it a bit more definition. So these palettes are really good because obviously if you're going anywhere, they're great because you don't have to take 3 different things with you. You've got one thing, and I think that the shades in these are very good, and I think for value for money, these are very worthwhile because this is going to last me a long time. For my blusher, I am still using the same brush, which is the MAC one, because I think this is really good, and this is like my go-to brush for every day. And then I'm going to use a different bronzer today, which is the By Terry one. It's very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury blusher, where you've got 2 different shades on, so it's almost like you've got the base shade and then the pop shade, which sort of sits on the top of your cheek. And this is in shade 7, and it's called Sun Desire, but it's really nice. It is quite luminous, so if you don't like a luminous finish, I wouldn't use this because this kind of combines with the highlighted look, but it matches very well with the look I'm trying to create. So to use these kind of palettes, you just sort of like go around and then sort of finish by sort of tapping it in the middle, and that's like the swirl and pop technique. So I just sort of do a very light swirl because it's quite pigmented, and then I will just apply it very slowly, because with a blush highlighter, where it's got a lot of pearlescent sort of textures in it, you don't really want to overdo it, especially if you want to add more highlighter, because it will just look like it's all over your cheek. So now you can see like I've got a bit of colour across here, but I've got a really beautiful glow going on. So that's like the perfect amount now. It's like it's giving a little bit of colour to my skin, but it's not overpowering, and it obviously really lifts your skin because of the shimmer in it. To highlight my cheekbones, down my nose and everything today, I'm going to use the Zoeva palette. I'm actually going to use the highlighter shade in it, which is called Liquid Clock, and it is very good. However, I feel like if you've got very pale skin, I probably wouldn't use this. I think it's better if you have slightly more warmer complexion or you wear fake tan, because it goes better with warmer skin tones. So then I would just go down the bridge of my nose, and this brush is like you can see, it's like flat and thin, but it's still quite fluffy. So it doesn't go too strong. And then across my lips here, let's give a bit of highlight. I'll go on my brow bone, and then I will do my cheekbones. So this is where I have to go on the angle to get your light, so you can see where the light reflects. So you can see like mine will be here. So really like make sure you spend time finding out like where to sit your highlighter on your cheekbones, because people tend to just put stripes on and it doesn't look that natural. So if you just sort of like find where the light hits, and then you're just almost like enhancing it. So make sure you sort of come round because the light hits all around here. So you're creating like a bit of a moon shape. And we're the same again. I just like will touch it on. So that's now my base is done. What I am going to do is just go over with a little bit of bronzer just to warm up my face rather than having just the contour shade on. And this actually will just blend out in everything because I'm just going over quite lightly. For this I always use my bog standard one, which is like my go-to for most days, and it's the Gore Armani bronzer, which I used in the last video. I don't know what shade this is because it's rubbed off the back, but it's just fantastic. It's really good. It does come with a compact and a mirror, and I'll just use the same brush I used for my contour, but I'm a bit more sort of, I just go over. And as you can see, to be honest, I could just leave it like that and not do any eyes or anything because it just looks so pretty and natural. It's almost like you're just enhancing everything. Okay, so for my brows, I am actually using a different product this time. I ventured out from my Chanel after the brow lady told me to try it. It's the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade 3. It's really good for blonde people. There is another 2 shades lighter than this, but this is perfect because I do still have quite dark roots, but obviously I've got really blonde hair, so it works really well with my eyebrow colour, and it's probably a lot easier than doing my brow powder. So we'll start by brushing through my brows on each side, and then this is dead easy, so it's like angled, and you just sort of twist it, and then you get like this pointed bit at the top and then a more smoother bit at the bottom. And this is really good. You can just go underneath and draw on. So I always start at the bottom to create the shape. Like so. And then I always create the same bottom shape on the other side so that I know they're going to be even. Because I never done a full brow on one side and then try to match the other because they never look the same. And then all I do now is I sort of like do like brush stroke hairs all the way through to the end, and that just makes them look like just slightly more filled in than they are naturally. So I just literally go through the front of them like so, and then I go along here, and then I just will create a little bit of a shape here towards the end where I need an arch because it doesn't seem to grow in. That's my brows done, and then to finish I go in with my Charlotte Tilbury brow gel in shade Linda, which I always use, swear by. Haven't found another one that's as good for me. There are a lot out there, but this one is amazing. It's got a really thin spoolie on the end, and I just go through these like I do with a normal brow brush, and it just sets the hair so it looks very natural and combed through rather than adding texture and colour to them. So to do my eyes, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury limited edition palette in the Legendary Muse. So for my base today, I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Estee Edit collection, and they usually only really sell this on their website or in stores, and it looks like this. You can see you've got like 3 shades, then you've got a pop shade, which is like Charlotte Tilbury's like usual way of doing her eye palettes, but there's not actually a base shade that I like in there. So I'm going to use my MAC Paint Pot in shade Bare Study, which looks like this. It's quite luminescent again, and it's a cream shadow, so I always use this with my finger because it's so much easier. So I just put a little bit on my finger, and I'm just going to go all over my lid to create like a really nice base for the other shadows to sit on. This is dead easy. I would literally just pat it in and go all over on the inner corner. If anything, it really does just brighten up your eye. Same again on the other side. So I'm going to use the first shade, which is like a bronze colour. So it is going to be a bit deeper on my eyes, but I think it looked really nice if I do it all over. And I use the Charlotte Tilbury blending brush, which is really good, and it goes really well with all the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows. So I will literally just go all over my lid. So I take it all over my lid so it's really fully covered. Maybe blend it out a little bit at the corners. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I literally just go all over my lid, and it's very easy with this brush. It creates a really good coverage as well, and you just keep building up. So with these eye quad palettes, they're fantastic because you can just use one colour, or you can do all four, you can do two. They're very, very versatile for lots of different looks, and I do have a particular favourite, which is the Dolce Vita, but I'm trying to mix up my eye looks. So I've taken that all over the lid now, so you can see it's like created a really nice tone. It's like a little bit pinky, a little bit shimmery, blending in with all of my shimmer look I've got going on today. I'm going to use the gold shade to actually build up here, so in the corner of my eye and just on the front. And I'm going to use the eye smudger brush. So this is like a little one, and I do usually use this to create like the crease, but it's going to be a good shape brush to do it in the inner corner. So I literally will just tap it in the inner corner here, first of all, on both sides. And then I'm going to go and take it on the front here. Third shade I'm going to use is this one down here, which has got a more cooler tone in it, slightly deeper than this one. And I'm going to use this in the crease to create a really nice shape. And I go in with like this flat brush from MAC. I'll link it down below. But I use this for like so many different types of looks and different doing different things with my eyes. But it's a good way like to pat on the product first before you're going to blend it in. So you can literally just like place it on your eye, and then I will like literally just take it across my eye like this. And then I go in with another MAC blending brush, which is like a bit more fluffy, and it's quite similar to the one I was using for my all over. And this is just going to really blend it out so it's not like a harsh shape. So I just go into the crease here, and I literally just work across my eyelid. So in a minute you're going to see it's going to be a really nice winged shape, like so. And then I'm going to do again the same on the other side. And then I'm going to blend again with this one. One tip I'd always recommend is to always blend your crease shade with your eyes open, not closed, because the shape of your eye when it's open is very different, and you've got to get it to sort of sit well with the crease in your eye. So that's why I always check like this. So I'd say I'm quite happy with that now as my eye look. And then what I do is I finish with my pop shade, which is like it's like a, what would I say, it's like a cool gold tone, like as in cool. It's not got like warm tones in it. So what I do here is I'm going to press this using your finger because it's emollient based, and pat it all across the front here, so it's going to like really bring out my eyes. So it's easy enough, you just sort of put your finger into this one and you'll see there, gold. And then I just literally will press it onto my eyelids. So I just will literally pat it on, so you can see. And you can build up as much as you want on this. It's very easy. But it really does like just blend all your look together. I'm going to keep it quite simple now and finish with my eyelashes. I'm just going to use the eyelash curlers from Tweezerman, which are like these gorgeous little rose gold shade, and my Dior Pump and Volume, and I still haven't found another mascara to replace this one yet. It is unbeatable. So I just go and I will pump my eyelashes like 10, 20 times and really push the volume in. If you just sort of close it like that, it doesn't work as well as if you keep opening and closing it and pressing the eyelashes up. So now I've curled my eyelashes, I'm going to go in with my Dior Pump and Volume mascara, which I find amazing. And all you do is you sort of you pump the end of the wand, and then you get a really good amount of even product on it. And this just is fantastic. It makes your eyelashes look so full. It's unbelievable. Now you can see the difference. It like literally finishes off your eye. So now my eyelashes are done, and I feel like the look really gets brought together when you put mascara on. So you can see my lashes are absolutely huge. I don't have LVL done, I don't have lash extensions. All I use is the Novu Lash Serum every day, and they really respond well to this mascara. To finish my look today, I'm not doing a lipstick, but I've found a new cult product, and I don't know, some of you may have heard of it, some of you may not. I didn't until I had a beauty calendar at Christmas, and it's called the Dr. Lip Original Nipple Balm, but it is actually a lip balm, and it is the most unbelievable lip balm I have ever come across in my entire life. It's only £12. It's like this. You can buy it from like Cult Beauty, Feel Unique, I think. Quite a lot of places do sell it. It makes you look like you've had your lips done. I put this on, I wear this at work, I wear this after work, I wear this on top of my lipstick. For some reason, I don't know how, but after it's been on for about half an hour, the texture of it changes and it becomes a lot less sticky, and it almost like emulsifies on your lips and gives this like beautiful, plump, full sheen, and it really makes you look like your lips are the statement on your face, and it's all down to this little guy. So I used to use a tiny little bit, and obviously just care on my lips, and that is today's look.